Hi, everyone. Dr. Frankie Bashan here, and it's Thursday, and I get to be here with you all covering another awesome topic. And before I jump into today's topic, I want to thank you all for subscribing. I'm over 17,000 subscribers. 16 years ago when I first started this, could I have ever imagined that I would be at 17,000? No. So I'm grateful to all of you. Thank you for supporting me and following me. And hopefully you're finding my tips and my suggestions to be helpful in your life in more ways than one. And if you're new to me, please continue to watch and follow. Please subscribe, hit that little bell below this video and click on all notifications, and you will hear every week from me. Once we upload a new video, you will hear all about what I have to say about topics that cover communication, intimacy, sex, romance, dating, just like everything about interpersonal relationships, anything that's related to relating to humans. That's what I cover. So I also have a podcast called Love, Laughs, and Lessons, and I co-host it with Denise Ray. And it's fantastic. We have different guests on every week. So definitely, if you haven't checked that out, I want to encourage you to do so. And I'll just get into today's topic. Won't waste any more of your time. So I'm going to be talking about 3 common dating deal breakers that shouldn't be. Geez, we're so good at finding deal breakers these days that it definitely is making dating successfully really tough because we are critiquing people so rigidly that it's making it hard to actually get to enjoy each other and experience lots of opportunities of joy because we're being too critical, I think. But anyway, let me just get into more of the material instead of you hearing my opinions on the side. I'll just stick to the focus and kind of weave them in throughout. But anyway, hopefully by now we're all armed with our green flags and our red flags when we strike back out into the dating game. Some of us, though, may be toting more than just red flags. We may be judging potential dates against our own personal deal breakers. Deal breakers aren't inherently bad. For instance, if you're a fat person entering the dating pool, refusing to date fat phobic people is a completely reasonable and understandable deal breaker. Sometimes, though, our deal breakers can reflect knee-jerk assumptions about dating, and we could be losing out on some really special people. Here's an example of 3 common deal breakers you may want to reconsider. They're not ambitious enough. Often, when we describe an ideal partner in our heads, we use words like ambitious, passionate, or driven. We want someone who has goals. We might say someone who's working towards something and making something of themselves. Maybe you dream of being half of a power couple, for example. I hear that often. It can feel deflating then if our dinner date tells us they tend to just clock in and clock out at their job. I work to live, not live to work, they might say. For some of us, especially if we're the kind of person always gunning for a promotion or the next industry award, that can signal incompatibility. Would a relationship with this person mean coming home to them in sweatpants on the couch, plowing through seasons of SVU every night? Not necessarily. It's great to want someone passionate and goal-oriented, and that may very well be a major green flag for you, but that doesn't mean those qualities have to be centered on professional spaces or labor. In fact, someone who works to live may be the healthiest of all of us when it comes to work-life balance and sustainable relationships with their job. You may not want to date a sweatpants-clad couch potato, but do you want to date someone who's still at the office at 8 p.m. every night or keeps interrupting your romantic weekend getaway to take work calls? And also, if you're both like have big jobs and big careers that require travel, when are you actually going to have time together, right? Try asking yourself hypothetical dinner date. Sorry, try asking your hypothetical dinner date what they do outside of work. What are they passionate about? What do they devote their time to? What gets them most enthusiastic? The answers to these questions might help you find the passion and compatibility you're actually looking for. And it may not just be specifically in their career, for example. They're still friends with their exes. Please save us both time and don't talk to me if your exes are still alive. Reads a popular meme making the rounds lately. For some people, it's not a joke. They see ex-partners as an existential threat. The idea of someone who still has any of their exes in their life other than the bare minimum may be necessitated by co-parenting or sharing custody of a pet is an instant deal breaker. These people may feel that true friendship is impossible with an ex and that one or both parties is always still harboring feelings. Even if they don't think their partner is actively still pursuing things with an ex, the ambient jealousy surrounding the idea of someone their partner used to date may feel just too overwhelming. Everyone's boundaries are their own, and you're under no obligation to date anyone with any kind of relationship with their exes. However, it might be worth considering, is it more toxic to be friends with an ex or to have cut off all ties to everyone you've ever dated because they're quote unquote crazy? Even if it's not our preference, staying friends with an ex can often be a sign of an emotionally and psychologically healthy person. If it's a healthy relationship with good boundaries and clear expectations, it's a sign that your date is capable of repairing ruptures in relationships, moving past hurt and anger for the sake of an important relationship, and is skilled at communication. Basically, redefining the relationship from a romantic relationship to a platonic, boundaried friendship. All qualities you want in a partner. If the thought of exes is truly paralyzing to you and feels triggering to even consider, it may be an issue with retroactive jealousy on your end. If that's what's going on, then it will likely crop its head up with any partner and may be worth working on with a coach, with a therapist. Before you decide it's a total red flag, it may be worth asking some questions about the friendships. How did they decide this was an important relationship to actually maintain? What boundaries have they established? The answers might change your perspective. So don't make a snap judgment, a knee-jerk judgment that might be actually foreclosing or preventing you from having a real connection that's special with somebody. They have an STI. To many people, this has historically been a core deal breaker. After all, don't we ask new sexual partners to get tested so that we can turn them down if they test positive or something? It's completely reasonable to want to avoid getting an STI or a sexually transmitted infection. However, that doesn't mean that avoiding any sexual or romantic encounters with people who have one is the best way to do so. STIs of one kind or another are incredibly common. About 1 in 5 people have one. Yes, 1 in 5 have one. Many of these STIs are mild, intermittent, or even curable with treatment. Many common ones, like herpes, aren't communicable all the time. The risk is mostly when someone is having an outbreak. And by virtue of their status, many people with STIs are more knowledgeable about these facts and the best ways to protect others than the average population. While it may feel counterintuitive, you're often at higher risk having sex with someone who doesn't know their status than with someone who has an STI and is well aware of how to manage it. Someone with an STI is often well educated about sexual health and how to mitigate risk for both themselves and for others. Someone who assumes they're STI free may well be communicating illnesses without even having any awareness of it. There's no moral register to having an STI or not having one. While prioritizing your health is really important, you may find that trying to remove anyone with an STI from your dating pool means removing people who are well-informed, safety-minded, and would prioritize your health. There are several books that I want to recommend. So Work Won't Love You Back. How Devotion to Our Jobs Keeps Us Exploited, Exhausted, and Alone. Overcoming Retroactive Jealousy, a guide to getting over your partner's past and finding peace. Strange Bedfellows, Adventures in the Science, History, and Surprising Secrets of STDs. You can find these links in the notes below. Please, if you have any questions, post them. I like responding. If you think this video would be helpful to somebody else, please share it. If you want to hear more about what we do, please follow us on social media or what I do, what my team does. I'm a matchmaker, I'm a psychologist, I'm a sex therapist, board certified, all those good things. You can visit us at littlegaybook.com. If you're part of the LGBTQ plus community, visit us at Little Black Book Matchmaking. We're on Instagram, Dr. Frankie Bashan, Little Gay Book, Little Black Book, all those sorts of places. And I look forward to seeing you all next week. Kisses, hugs. Take care, everyone.